Barcelona take down Benfica and book their spot in the Champions League quarterfinals. One half was all it took in the second leg to show who's the better side. So drop a like and let's break down how Barca got the job done and why Lamine Yamal is proving to be a real force, especially in the knockout stages. Remember when we talked about how Lamine Yamal needs motivation, that he thrives in knockout games? In La Liga, for example, his last goal was back in October in El Clasico against Real Madrid. Since then, no goals, only assists. But in the Cup, different story. He's scoring in the knockout rounds and must-win Super Cup games. Goal in the semi-final, goal in the final. Just like that. In the Champions League throughout the entire group stage, Lamine Yamal played 8 games and scored just once. That was early on. When Monaco got a red card, Lamine Yamal stepped up and found the net. And now the knockout stage is here. Lamine Yamal steps up the levers against Benfica. Especially at home, the crowd is pushing. First goal, Lamine Yamal handled it perfectly. Controlled it, played a pass. Maybe a miss-hit cross to Raphinha, but a goal is a goal. And the second one, that's the real highlight. That's the key moment, the way Lamine Yamal made it happen. It was a free kick. He whipped it in. Benfica cleared it, but they still had to defend a set piece. Lamine Yamal chased down the ball just before it crossed the line. They sent only one defender to deal with him. Obviously, that wasn't enough. With his long strides, 3 quick steps, and then bang, the ball was in the air for what felt like 5 minutes. Just floating, and I couldn't take my eyes off. And the closer it got to Trubin, the more I realized he had no chance. No way he was stopping that. Not even getting a touch. The trajectory was perfect. And why am I talking about knockout games again? Well, just think back to last year's Euros. In the group stage, Lamine Yamal had, 1 assist in 3 games. Nothing special. But then, in the knockouts, he caught fire. Every game, he delivered again and again. And here he steps up, smashes one past Benfica, job done. Surprisingly, all that attacking firepower from this front four, it's like they were scooping up chances and somehow every single one ended up with these 2 guys. It felt like Robert should have scored at least 3 times today. But once again, Robert wasn't ready. I can't explain it, but this was the strangest game from Robert Lewandowski. Because the perfect conditions were set up for all the skills he's known for. Because he's really a top-tier striker. But today, either he didn't make the run or he got the ball and was just trying to figure out where he even was. His main job, though, is to know exactly where he is and make something happen in 1 or 2 touches. But Robert Lewandowski is standing there with his legs straight then. He goes for the pass thinking, man, I should run earlier, or oh, the ball came to me. Let me control it. Let me think about it at this level. It's just not good enough. The thinking should be much faster, and honestly, it's strange. Robert should have skipped the game against Osasuna because of discomfort or fatigue. And it felt like he wasn't ready for today's match either. So it's surprising to see this. He was honestly the worst player on the pitch, but it needs to be pointed out. The match, not the season, nothing. Robert Lewandowski is a good striker, but what surprises me about this game is that it was made for Robert to score 2 or 3 goals. And he didn't even come close to one. His 2 shots were completely harmless and right at Trubin. And even those were delayed. Robert's great at getting into the right position and just putting 1 or 2 away in 1 or 2 touches. But that didn't happen today, and it could have. If you check Wikipedia, you'll find that the 2024-2025 Champions League is the tournament where Raphinha is just racking up stats against teams from other leagues. He's absolutely tearing it up. In 10 matches, how many does he have now? 9 plus 4, or maybe even 11 plus 4. How many did he score against Benfica? 5 goals in 3 games. The guys must be scared of him now, especially if he ever ends up in Portugal again, and he's already been there, played for Sporting. They'll call the cops if they see Raphinha out on the streets. So here's the thing. Raphinha makes the difference. He's in the right place at the right time. Something that others just don't do. Enough said. That sharpness in finishing and Raphinha in the Champions League, he really feels it. As soon as he hears that anthem, that's it, a goal's coming. It's almost a guarantee that something's going to come from Raphinha, but the way he played with Benfica's defense today, it was impressive. Because yeah, Raphinha is a right winger who plays on the left, and he's good at playing just behind the striker. So Raphinha was just roaming the field today. Yeah, here I am. Benfica isn't the best defense in the world, not by a long shot after La Liga when you play against Benfica. You're all like, my God, so much space. Let me just run here and do something crazy. And Raphinha just stood on the left, and hey, there's Balde, who's just running past those guys. He didn't even need to fake them out. He just pushed the ball forward and ran. And Raphinha set it up. There's ball dropped into the center. Yeah, there's Olmo into Lamine Yamal. Came back to the center, the circle drop played it out. Sent Balde or even Yamal himself. In short, he moved around the field, and Benfica, of course, had no clue how to react to it. And Raphinha would join the attack from any position he saw fit, where there was space, where there were weaknesses. In short, he was walking around like a teacher, like, yep, here's where you're in trouble. I'll hit you with that now. Yeah, here's your problem. I'll hit you with that now. Phenomenal Raphinha this season. Let's see what happens next, because now we've got the most important match coming up. In the knockout stage now, in the Champions League quarterfinals. As you know, the quarterfinals in the Champions League is the minimum target for every season financially. That's the benchmark they set. You need to get there to make money. Getting to the quarterfinals brings in another 11 million. Every stage of this tournament brings in cash. They're fighting for the title. They're fighting for individual trophy. Joan Laporta. Cool. Another 10 moves like that and we'll buy some useless Lyo. Well, I don't know how he's thinking, but definitely needs money, and money's definitely coming in. Football's simple. You win and everything will be yours. Individual awards, team trophies, money, everything. It all comes down to the team winning. Now we're through. Benfica isn't the toughest opponent, but the situation is clear here. Every opponent matters. You face one, beat them, and then think about what's next. So beat them first, and then you can start thinking for now, step by step. And it's good that understands this and does it calmly and takes action. Congrats on the win.